children responsible for the assault have been arrested. The incident occurred as the pregnant woman was walking home. After a group of minors knocked her down, they took turns jumping over her as if playing a vaulting horse game. Her young son rushed into the crowd, shielding his mother's abdomen with his frail body. Despite his tears, a cell phone camera captured this heart-wrenching scene, while the children laughed and completed each shove.
So I asked my kids to come to the next side of the street with me, so they wouldn't get jumped. So we kept walking. They followed us all the way there, and then they still fought us. They fought my son. They hit my son first, all in his face. Then they dragged me in the grass and pulled my little baby hair.
Have y'all seen that wild viral video going around the One where a mom and her son get jumped by a pack of middle school terrors who act like they run the streets? Because baby, the moment that clip hit the internet, people were heated. And honestly, who wouldn't be? It was disgusting, chaotic, and straight up embarrassing. But here's where it gets even more unbelievable. The parents of those little bullies came outside like proud spokespersons, bragging about their kids as if they were raising future saints. They actually had the nerve to say, "Oh, people did worse when they were kids," as if that magically makes assault cute. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree? Honey, in this case, the apple rolled off the tree, down the hill, and straight into the sewer. But the internet? Oh, the internet was not having that delusion. Social media detectives got to work with zero hesitation, and within hours, every single parent involved was exposed receipts, backgrounds, the whole mess. And now the community is standing up, demanding loud and clear that somebody needs to put these kids and their parents in check before this turns into something even darker down the road. What started as a local Chicago incident has exploded into a nationwide conversation. And trust me, it's only getting messier from here.
So apparently the mother has been telling the school this entire time that her son was getting bullied, and the school didn't do anything about it. And this is why you got the community out there protesting, because these schools refuse to do anything when these parents come up to these schools and tell them that their child is being bullied. I don't know what goes on in their minds, and they just be like, oh, you know, kids are going to be kids. Y'all have to stop doing that, because we see too many situations where kids are being bullied. The parents come up and they tell y'all about it, and for some reason y'all don't do nothing about it. It's really frustrating.
For months now, honestly, years, people have been warning that these kids are out here acting like they run the entire world. Teachers, bus drivers, cashiers at the supermarket, everybody's been saying the same thing. These kids have zero discipline and even less supervision. It's gotten so bad that some teachers have literally quit mid-year because they refuse to deal with these raggedy, out-of-control mini menaces any longer. So here's what happened just a few days ago. Karonda, a mother who has been battling sickle cell disease and already carrying more pain than most people will ever understand, went to Orville Bright Elementary on a quiet Tuesday afternoon to pick up her son. For 2 years straight, she had been reporting to the school that her son was being bullied. 2 whole years, and nothing. Not a meeting, not a solution, not even a fake attempt from administration. Just silence. And then came the moment that pushed everything over the edge. As soon as Karonda and her kids stepped outside, that group of troublemakers spotted them. They immediately started mocking her, laughing, pointing, cracking jokes about her and her son like they were performing for an audience. But Karonda, she didn't say a word. She just grabbed her son and daughter and tried to walk away because she could already feel where this was headed. But those kids followed them, down the sidewalk, across the block, all the way to the next street. And that's when one of them had the audacity to walk up and hit her son. That was it. Karonda stepped in like any mother would to protect her child, and the moment she did, those kids swarmed her. They dragged her across the grass, they yanked her daughter by the hair, and they went after her like a pack. Her son had to throw himself over his mother's midsection just to shield her so they would stop kicking and hitting her. And, baby, if you haven't seen the video, honestly, it might be better that you don't. Because it is heartbreaking, it is infuriating, and it is one of the most disturbing things you will ever watch. All it's going to do is make your blood boil.
Come on, blood! Shamar, look at that! Shamar!
Come here. What you want, Shamar? Foot. Shamar, foot. What you want, Shamar? Shamar, look at other bitch, Shamar. What's his ass? What's his ass? Oh my God.
Now listen, this is 2025, the era where nothing stays private for more than 5 seconds. So, of course, the entire attack was caught on camera, and of course, it was blasted all over social media within minutes. And once it hit Facebook, oh, it spread like wildfire. There was no, let's hear both sides, no laughing, no excuses. People were horrified. The whole internet collectively said, absolutely not. By the very next morning, the community had already mobilized. Folks pulled up outside the school demanding answers, accountability, and somebody in authority with a backbone. They weren't playing. They wanted action, and they wanted it now. And the police? They had no choice but to show up. With the entire neighborhood standing there, breathing down their necks, cameras out, chanting for justice, officers detained several of the kids involved and questioned them for hours. Hours. Because when an entire community is watching and refusing to let the situation get swept under the rug, suddenly the system remembers how to do its job. Nobody was letting this atrocity slide. Not this time.
With the parents and those children. And I think before we do a lot of talking, we need to listen. We need to listen to those children. What I just heard are 2 little, beautiful black children that are traumatized. They've been bullied. They've been tortured. And I just spoke without giving up full details. What I just told the principal and CPS, that we're not about to let a bunch of rules get in the way of protecting our children.
That's right, that's right.
No mother should ever have to go through what that woman went through.
Karonda, meanwhile, had to be rushed to the hospital with her son because that attack didn't just bruise her body, it shook her entire system. Between the physical assault and her pre-existing sickle cell condition, the stress alone was enough to send her into a full medical crisis. Her son was treated too, because he had taken hits trying to protect his mother. It was a nightmare no parent or child should ever go through. But the community, oh, they were done being quiet. They took this straight to the internet and said, nope, this is not getting swept under any rug. Because there was no way those kids woke up one day and magically learned that kind of behavior at school. That kind of cruelty starts at home, and people were determined to find the parents who raised these little monsters. And the internet went to work. One by one, the parents were identified screenshots, Facebook profiles, workplaces, the whole digital trail, and the community turned up the heat. Hard. Someone even posted, "This will be the first time in my life I'm calling someone's job to get them fired, but Yas Street Patrick, go ahead and delete your Facebook all you want. The internet will find you. And when it does, I swear I'm calling your job 55 times a day. Count on it. Because yes, Yas Street Patrick is the mother of one of the girls who allegedly led the pack during the attack. And instead of taking responsibility, she tried to spin it like her daughter was some misunderstood overachiever being unfairly judged. At first, she wrote, "Let me say this, my daughter is a great kid. AB student, captain of the cheer team, top of her class. Every teacher got something good to say. We don't owe nobody an apology except that lady and her kids. Y'all looking for a viral moment, shut TF up. Kids gonna be kids, and kids out here doing way worse. Y'all at 12 and 13 were beating up crackheads. Y'all don't know us. She was peer pressured. She was held accountable. It takes a village, but she got a castle behind her, standing 10 toes down. Once again, we don't owe y'all no apology. And no, my kids were not raised like that." And baby, the internet said, "Excuse me? Because how do you claim your child wasn't raised like that? When your child is out here leading the charge like she's the CEO of a street gang, where exactly did she learn that behavior if not at home?" The math was not mathing, and everybody knew it.
And to the mother down there in Chicago, who daughters apologize? No, you don't get to tell us how to treat your daughter, because I watched that clip. You understand me? I watched that clip. She was not a child the way she was cussing, baby. She done heard some things and seen some things, young lady. You did a terrible job. You did a terrible job.
Girl, maybe Yas really thought the internet was just gonna rant for a day or two, lose interest, and move on. Maybe she assumed folks would skim the drama, shrug, and let her slide back into her regular life. But you ain't. Absolutely not. The internet said, "Not this time, sweetheart." People dragged her from sunrise to sunset. Every comment section, every repost, every stitch, they were on her neck. They applied so much pressure that she eventually had no choice but to pop up on Facebook Live, sitting shoulder to shoulder with her daughter, looking stressed and defeated, just to issue an apology that probably should have come on day one. Because when the internet wants accountability, oh, they will drag you straight to that Go Live button.
I was wrong for everything.
It's okay,
I
come
was
on.
wrong for everything that I did. And I was just being a follower, following everybody who don't even got nothing that I got.
And honestly, going live with that child was the worst decision she could have possibly made. Nobody, and I mean nobody, wanted to hear a single excuse coming out of that girl's mouth. The internet wasn't in the mood for sympathy, for context, for tears, nothing. Especially when everyone already knew that this was the same girl who allegedly threw the very first punch at the mother. Yet here they were on live, talking about peer pressure and she's just a kid, like that was supposed to magically erase what happened. Child, please. People were not buying it. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. And then, because apparently the circus wasn't chaotic enough, an auntie of one of the bullies hopped on live too. Yes, an auntie. She showed up wearing what looked like her niece's school jacket, sitting there on camera talking reckless about Karanda and her 9-year-old child getting beat up like it was nothing. No empathy. No shame. Just pure ignorance on full display for the world to see. At that point, the internet wasn't just angry, they were fed up.
I know y'all see that video. And if any bitch wanna be funny, fuck them, your ugly ass baby, pissy ass grandma, old ass people. What kind of shit they want when they got buried? Ugly ass clothes. People, fuck y'all. On crap, I hate all y'all. Bottom line. Hey, I know y'all see that video.
Like, seriously? What on earth was funny about any of this? A mother with a medical condition getting dragged through the grass, a 9-year-old being attacked, a family traumatized, and these grown adults were online, giggling like it was reality TV drama instead of real people in pain. Then more parents like Tisha Stevenson and Nicole Collins came out talking tough, saying they don't play about their kids, and they were standing 10 toes down behind them. Which is wild, because the kids they're defending weren't standing 10 toes on anything except violence and disrespect. A situation like this is triggering for a lot of people, and yet these parents still acted like their kids did nothing wrong. This wasn't kids being kids. This was cruelty, full stop. And yes, they're young, nobody denies that. But the internet made one thing very clear. Young or not, accountability has to come first. Because if these kids don't learn consequences now, they'll only grow bolder and meaner later. Karanda herself eventually spoke out, saying, "So much pain, emotional and physical. I'm not feeling good at all." She explained that her entire body hurts and that both of her children are traumatized. Her son has been jumping awake in the middle of the night, calling her name, reliving the attack over and over. Her husband, broken and shaken, also spoke up, "We have trauma too. I couldn't sleep. Every time I close my eyes, I see the video. I want justice. I want the school, the parents, and the kids held responsible. And the internet? Oh, they had plenty to say. Kids raising kids. My whole family would have buried me alive if I ever acted like that. What kind of demon-possessed mess are y'all raising out here? Don't just lock up the kids, punish the parents too." People were furious, and honestly, rightfully so. The whole situation exposed a deeper problem that's been bubbling for years. Would y'all ever have expected something like this to happen? Sound off in the comments, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.